My magazine uses a similar cover, contents and splash page layout to the Fly magazine, with the second half of my main feature being similar to the second half of an NME main feature. On my magazine, I have followed the generic conventions of all magazines and included a masthead, which is in a similar font to the Fly's masthead. However, I have instead called my magazine Freshers. Another way in which I have followed generic conventions of magazines is the use of a main cover line. Most magazines, such as NME, also include other cover lines which have added previews to give a taste of the contents within the articles. However, I have challenged this by making my main cover line the key focus, with a small preview, and then listed the other involved bands along the bottom without previews of their articles. I challenge this convention because I like the simplicity of the Fly's covers and sometimes find NME's covers a little busy, with all the text talking about each article as shown on this cover. With regards to the contents page, I again stuck to the conventions that the Fly have used, as it is different to most of the magazines I have seen, and I wanted to replicate the uniqueness in my magazine, Freshers. The Fly's contents page uses one main image and no smaller images, keeping one band in focus like they and I have also done on my cover. My main image, however, is a collage of individual members' photos, rather than one pose shot, putting my own spin on their convention as shown here. The contents text in the Fly is laid out as continuous prose, in that it isn't all listed in a table like other magazines. I took this idea, but rather than overlapping the text box like they have, I have moved it all into one space on the right hand side, so that the main image wasn't covered. This challenges their convention, because I wanted to maintain the tidiness of my magazine and not just throw it all together, which is a disadvantage of the Fly's contents page. Another convention I have challenged is adding contact details to the contents page, instead of later on in the magazines. My reasoning is to make it easier to find contact details quickly, as I realise from past experience that contact details are often too difficult to locate. With regards to the double page spread, I have again followed generic conventions of the Fly with section 1 of my main feature. The entire double page spread is filled with an image of the band in topic. The spread also includes a headline, which is a play on words with the band's name. My headline is Cracking the Mould, taken from my band's name, Cracking the Pavement, in a similar fashion to the Fly, whose main feature band is the Virgins, and as shown here, their headline is Like a Virgin, a simple play on words. The Fly's writers have also included a brief introduction, another convention I have used on my double page spread, as I found this a good way to break into the article. The second half of my main feature follows conventions of NME. I use their 3-column layout on each page, as well as using their convention of a main image to take up half of the page. I use my main image to give readers an idea of how the band look when playing live. I have again put my own spin on this convention, as my main image is a collage of individual shots, which make up a montage. Another generic convention in most magazines is the use of a pull quote, which features in this copy of NME. I have used a pull quote because it draws attention to the article and also gives a kind of secondary introduction as to what the article is about. Smaller images of the band have also been used on my main feature, as they have been on the article in NME, following conventions. The final convention I have used is the contact details in the bottom right. I have used NME styling, including the use of a cursor icon. However, I have used this space to link to the bands and social networking sites, whereas NME linked to a feature of the band on their own website nme.com. This shows synergy between the magazine and the internet site.